Hello, fellow Madristas. Once again, welcome to our podcast. Today, I'm joined with the usual suspect, Doris, and we have a new face in the room. Actually, he's been here for a while, just he decides to hide his face behind the walls. So we have Jacob here with us today. So Jacob, can you just please briefly introduce yourself to the fans?
Oh, yeah. So I've been a Madridista for a long time, since 7th grade to be exact. Before that, I was an Arsenal fan, but that was a long time ago, so you can't hold it against me.
Man, I'm just wondering, like, why do I keep getting the vibes of Sumaid, man? Actually, yeah, I can see, being a Gunner and a Madridista at the same time. I get that.
Yeah, I switched over to Madrid in the Mourinho days, so I'm a really big fan of the counter-attacking scheme, and having really physical players and strong players on my squad. Yeah, so yeah, feeling pretty sad about Casemiro leaving. But life goes on.
Definitely, that's it, my man. Life goes on, man. We can cry over spilled milk, as they say, man. So life goes on. Anyways, I personally think today there's only one place to start, and that is Karim the Dream. The thing is this, right? So a lot of people actually have said a lot of shit about Karim Benzema, right? And okay, I was reading earlier, like before, just right after Benzema won. So like I was reading a tweet about a quote that Henry once said, he's been a fan of Benzema for 15 years, in the era of the Messi and Ronaldo fans. And everyone, kept shouting on him like, this guy is like, what is he saying, Like he was saying, I believe that Benzema was going to win the Ballon d'Or, and no one actually believed him. And, now this is the guy, this is the first of many, the UEFA Player of the Year, hopefully FIFA Player of the Year, and then eventually the Ballon d'Or. So as our first timer, Jacob, let's start with you. Like, can you just put into context what this victory means for Karim Benzema, and like how highly have you rated him since he joined Real Madrid in 2009?
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I never saw Benzema winning a Ballon d'Or, not because of a lack of ability. Like he's one of the most gifted players on the pitch at all times on any particular team. But there was already he was already in many shadows of players. Even like he couldn't play in for the France team for various reasons. That did affect him, and he was always in Ronaldo's shadow. But then, as soon as Ronaldo left, something turned on, and then he became a monster of a player. And this has been a long time coming. For a couple of seasons now, he has been our best player and carried our team across different periods, all on his own. And yeah, well deserved.
Indeed, well said, man. Well deserved. He's carried the team, and you said like something clicked. And although he will always claim I've always been the same player, just now the goals come more. So something just came to my mind now, Doris. Let me just put that to you. I don't know if you could recall, like I think was it in the 13th season or in the 12th season when Mourinho was claiming that he wants to go hunting with a lion, but all he was a cat, referring to Karim Benzema.
That's what Mourinho said, but he explained that it's just a saying in Portugal. But at that point in time, I think most people thought of that, maybe not for Higuain or or who he compared him with, but to this, like even last season, I wouldn't have thought that he would be competing for Ballon d'Or. And especially in 2012, maybe throughout the years we didn't pay attention to him as much, because we always expected after Cristiano that maybe Bale will be the one, or we get a new superstar in Hazard. It was never Benzema that we would try to train him, and we always wanted an upgrade to Benzema, and I think that speaks a lot. And from this year, I don't think anyone will ever think that again.
Definitely. I think that's the thing. Like, I think one key thing we should also point out, is that Karim Benzema came out of the famed Lyon Academy, right? And if we can recall, even then, Sir Alex was pushing to get Benzema onto his team before he joined Real Madrid. But then, as you guys rightly alluded to, like that, the point is that Benzema has been playing with the likes of, Cristiano and Gareth Bale, and, at some point Kaká and what is and what is not. So, like these players eventually overshadowed him. And I think that also reflects on the kind of player Benzema is, that, he was able to put his head down, put in the hard work, let the people who need to shine. That's the thing. And when eventually all these guys left and there was a vacuum to fill, which Gareth Bale decided not to fill, he felt like, okay, this is the time, this is my moment. And he seized the opportunity with both hands. And in my opinion, for the past 2 years, he's been the best player in the world. Even I think, even last year, I think personally, I felt like he was the best player in the world. Well, unfortunately, because of the lack of accolades and trophies, the recognition couldn't come. And, we have the famous, I don't know if you're aware of this, Jacob, but we have this joke that runs around on the pod about, what's his name, Mika Richards, and when he was saying like just today Karim Benzema is now on the same level of Harry Kane and what is and what is not. And I think Harry Kane should even be lucky to be mentioned in the same sentence as Benzema, not even compared as a player. So there is that as well. But then, yeah, man, kudos to the man. To be honest, I am really, really so happy for him. I hope this is the first of many, man, because I think we still have the FIFA Player of the Year ahead. And we have, the Ballon d'Or eventually, which is, the cream of the crop. And then, moving on from one winner to another winner. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Carlo Ancelotti, but, credit has to be given where due. The man has, as they say, like when life gives you a lemon, make a lemonade out of it, right? Don't sit down and start crying. So the man has actually done miracles. He has performed miracles with, with the team he has. I don't know. Can you see my screen now, guys?
Not yet.
What can you say? Is it Benzema or Ancelotti?
We don't see either of those. We see you just starting to share the screen and just stuck there.
Interesting. Okay, let's do this.
Zoom at it again. Does this happen often?
Nope, it shouldn't. I don't know why it is, though.
No, but I'm surprised. Like, why do you not
There you
rate
go.
Ancelotti as much as the other managers?
So
Wait, let me word it in a different way. Like, who's your favorite manager?
that's a very good question. Actually, my favorite manager would be I would say Jurgen Klopp is my favorite manager. But if you ask me who is my dream coach for Real Madrid, I'd say to you, Mauricio Pochettino. But the point is like that's not the topic of today. The topic of today is to shower credit on Carlo Ancelotti, the Don, as they call him, the boss. So I will just leave it to you guys. Maybe we can start from Doris and just because he came after finishing 10th with Everton in the Premier League, and then before that he was at Napoli, and it wasn't a very good stint also in Italy for him. So I would just take us through the ropes, man. Like, what was your initial reaction upon the appointment of Carlo Ancelotti? Like, in your wildest dream, did you ever think he could, deliver the double, and the season we have last year? What's your take?
So, as we all know, and even before Ancelotti joined, he's a really hit or miss. He either hits really hard or he misses really hard, and that's what happened with Everton, I think. And in Napoli, he wasn't as great either, but a few times in his career, he's really hit the jackpot with the perfect players and the perfect team. And last year, it wasn't all on Ancelotti. It was mostly the team that just clicked at the right time, at the right place, and he was there at the right time, at the right place. So I think this season will speak much more for his career than the last one, because last season, even though we were great, we were amazing, there was a bit of luck added there. And I think he knows it. And I think he stayed in Madrid for himself to prove himself again, because he could have gone, blazing and got the last Champions League trophy, but he didn't. He stayed one more year, and I respect him for that. And I think the players, above all, respect him for that, because he's not over. He knows that there's much more work to do, especially as people were saying that he knew that which players were leaving this summer, and people were saying that they knew that he knew that Casemiro is leaving, and it was no coincidence that we signed some players under Ancelotti right now. I think he has a plan for this year.
I see. Interesting. Jacob, let me just come to you. But before that, I told Doris to shower some praise on Carlo Ancelotti, and she's just, literally pointing out that the man won the Champions League by luck. I mean, what, man? Doris?
No, far from that. No. Don't twist my words. I didn't say that. I did not say that. I said that there was a bit of luck, as every Champions League is won by a little bit of luck. You need a bit of luck, and that's exactly what happened to Liverpool. They didn't have luck this time.
Yeah. I get you. Anyways, I'm just pulling your feet. So yeah. Jacob, what's up? What you have to say?
Well, just to add to Dors's point, it's not just about luck; it's about black magic. And I feel like Zidane passed it over to him. So, yeah, anyways, I don't have anything negative to say about Ancelotti because he's proved me wrong time and time again. Whenever you feel like he's going on the wrong track, he's starting the same plays over and over again, which is one of his criticisms throughout all of his tenures. The man just manages to crank out results year after year. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting a bad season at all from his past performances with Everton or anything. He was just provided a bad squad, I guess. And injuries played a part in the results in the end. So I was always expecting a lot of good attacking plays and, generally good results. Yeah. But, so things did change throughout the season. Like the first half of the season, we were all out attack. We had a lot of attacking play, but we were suspect defensively, which was a concern. So, but still, I still expected to win the La Liga, but never in a million years I thought we'll win the double on his first season. Yeah, and like Doris said, there was a lot of luck and black magic involved, but he got us there in the end.
Yeah. I think the key point, that Doris pointed out here.
I didn't say a lot. I said a little bit. There's a big difference.
Indeed.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Actually, so I will say one thing I actually, we also concurred about what Doris said is the fact that, Carlo Ancelotti is the kind of person that, if he meets the right group of players, he can perform magic, you understand? So I think that's like he met, a group of serial winners who knows how to already win, because eventually, the thing is that you don't have to teach the likes of Madrid and Benzema and, and Kroos, Casemiro, how to play football eventually. You just need to create a system whereby they're flexible, whereby they can, express themselves, So I think that's one of the best things because I think, if I'm not wrong, I was reading about, a coach, for example, like Nagelsmann, who was trying to teach Lewandowski what to do and what not to do, for example. That's something that will never happen with Carlo Ancelotti. Like, he believes that these players are very good enough, and he just allows them freedom of expression. And I think if he hits the right, the right group of players, like he has the ability to perform wonders. And actually, to Jacob's point as well, like at Everton, like although he finished 10th, like I do remember there was a point where he was like second or third, and then eventually, his players starting from Allen to James Rodriguez to Calvert-Lewin, they all started getting injured, and eventually, at a club like Everton, like you don't have that much squad depth, to compete with the wealth of the other teams in Premier League. So losing 3, 4, 5 players actually eventually takes a toll on the on your style of play eventually. Yeah, valid point, man. But all credit to Carlo Ancelotti, to be honest. So I'm actually very curious to see what happens this season, though, as Doris rightly pointed out. So let's see how it goes.
And one more like super underrated aspect of Ancelotti is he always manages to motivate the whole team, not just like the core group of starters. Like everyone is in a good mode. So it's like a really strong locker room that he has set up.
I mean, yeah, that's a very valid point. Actually, case point becomes Eden Hazard. A lot of his, his peers have been praising the fact that although Hazard isn't playing, he's always there, like training hard, bringing morale to the players who are playing, talking to the young guys and what is and what is not. I mean, Hazard is a superstar, like under a lot of coaches, maybe Hazard will actually be disgruntled and, be angry or mad at not playing a lot of time. But as you can see, you rightly pointed out, he's not just, motivating just those 11 players. Like he has all the squad, believing in one single goal, pulling in the same direction. I think, credits to the Italian Don, man. So yeah, that's just all we can say. So at the same ceremony, actually, so we had the draws for the Champions League for the 22-23 season. So let's just go through that as well and see who our opponents are going to be, and we can see how it's going to be like. So, yeah, so we're in Group F together with Leipzig, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Celtic. Okay, Jacob, I see you're smiling. What's your take on this?
No, the first name on the list that catches my eye is Shakhtar. Why them always?
While they're older, I think it's 3 seasons on the spin right now, right?
Yep.
It's 3
Totally
seasons.
crazy.
Yeah.
No, but it's not that they've been bad. It's like they always put up a good fight, I feel, especially in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
But still, I'm kind of getting tired of this matchup over and over again.
Yeah, actually, for me personally, I would say, like Leipzig kind of sticks out there because, like, Leipzig, it's a team that I actually admire. It's a German team, part of the Red Bull Group thing. So actually, I admire the model of football and what they do. Like they try to put up a fight against this, but then eventually they still have to sell the players and what is on. So Doris, what's your take on the group? You think it's a difficult group, or a group of death, or like a walkover?
Well, it's definitely not a group of death. We were lucky this year and last year, of course. But that said, it's not easy. It's never easy, and I'm happy to see Shakhtar here again for one. For how many years? But what I'm not happy to see is Celtic, actually, because I think they're in good form right now, and I don't think it will be as easy as we would think it is at first. I think Celtic has like 4 or 5 games won in a row at the start of this season, and I'm not sure for Leipzig, but I think that it's maybe we will get first place, but for the second place it will be a battle between these clubs. Maybe not for Shakhtar because of the situation, and I don't know if they're that good to compete, but Celtic and Leipzig, I think is gonna be a really really good game.
Yeah. To be honest, because like Celtic also, like it's a European giant once upon a time. So I think
Yes.
the games in Glasgow, Scotland, and the games in Madrid, Spain is going to be really, really, the atmosphere there is going to be outrageous,
Yeah.
to be honest. And yeah, also shout out to Shakhtar Donetsk, like we have to pay our respects. Like it's a country that's torn by war, and if I'm not mistaken, actually Shakhtar are not even playing at home these days. So
Yeah, they're playing in Poland, in Warsaw.
Yeah, exactly. So that's also going to be like emotional for them as well. So yeah, I personally do believe like it shouldn't be that difficult of a group. I think we should top the group easily, but that's the thing. Like Real Madrid don't do these things easily, right? We always try to find the hard way, just as we had like the other time with Sheriff and what is and what is not. So that we're gonna lose a couple of games or games here and there, and then have to start to fight, to crawl ourselves back out of a hole, and eventually we just win the group one way or another. So yeah,
it's
that
never
is
easy
probably
with
what's
us.
gonna happen. Yeah, it's like a totally Real Madrid thing to do.
yeah, exactly, man. We don't know the easy way out. We just know how to suffocate ourselves and put ourselves in.
I'm really sad we're not playing Inter. That's I'm really sad we're not playing Inter again.
I mean, gives the guys a break.
I swear I would have gone to the game this time. I swear. It's destiny, and it's pretty close to me, so I will go definitely this year.
I mean, okay, then speaking of going to games, Doris, like we have Zagreb, from Croatia, together with Salzburg, Chelsea, and Milan. Maybe you can go to that, or do you think Zagreb?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. It depends on the dates, but if we ever play Zagreb again, I swear, I swear, I'm buying all of your tickets.
What do you think about Zagreb's chances? Maybe we can meet in the round of 16. You think?
If that happens, definitely.
What do you think they have the chance though?
Zagreb, I don't know. I'm not really sure because in the Croatian league they're always top in the standings always, and they're always first. They was winning because Hajduk can never really compete with them, especially in Europe. They're playing in the Conference League against Real right now. Let me see if maybe Croatia has done something. Nope, it's it's Villarreal that's winning again. So not even that. So probably Zagreb will be out in the group stage, even though I saw some comments on Reddit that Zagreb could beat Milan because it's an old rivalry.
Yeah.
But I doubt that. I don't think there's a chance they don't finish fourth, even though they're optimistic about it.
I see. Oh, valid point. So Jacob, take us through the group stage experience. Like, which group is more exciting? Which group do you think you'll consider group of that year?
Obviously, like everyone's going to say Group C, which is the group of death this time, I think, according to most people. But I'm going to leave that to you. My eyes actually went towards Group G, which has a lot of storylines. So obviously, like, yeah, Holland is gonna be highlighted in those two matchups with Dortmund, and the question is gonna be, is he gonna celebrate? What do you think?
I think he's not gonna celebrate. I think he has, because it was an amicable, divorce. I would say like they both, were on good terms. Like he has a release clause. City matched the release clause. So, I mean, the point of putting the release clause there from Dortmund side is that okay, they are accepting that okay, this guy's gonna leave after 2-3 years. So like after 2 years, like someone activated the release clause, and it was a gentleman's agreement. So I think personally, nothing happens there. But then actually, I think it's a good group to point out though, because I think I see City winning the group easily, but I don't think Sevilla, Dortmund, and Copenhagen is quite easy to pick out who finishes at the runner-up in the group. To be honest, I have no idea. But yeah, I would go back to the Group C you pointed out. I think Group C of Bayern, Barca, and Inter is like wow. And now the point now becomes, like you're thinking of Victoria Pleasant, and like they can literally just sit at home and even, eliminate themselves from the group stage. I mean, barring a giant miracle, like there's no even point of showing up. It's just dropping all along, man. I don't know. What do you guys think about Group C? Doris, would you have qualifying from Group C?
I mean, I think everyone's eyes go to Bayern and Barcelona because of the 8-2, but this time Lewandowski is on the other side. So maybe that will help Barcelona finish like 6-2.
Like your optimism.
Yeah. I think Group C finishes exactly as it's in the picture. Bayern first, but Barcelona second, Inter third, and Platzen. I don't know. It's pronounced fourth.
I see. Actually, I get the vibes as well. Like I will agree with that as well, because I think Inter isn't just strong enough to actually challenge both Barcelona and Bayern. But actually, for me personally, what I'm thinking is because both Bayern and Barcelona are unknown quantities these days, right? Because Barcelona just got a bunch of players, and you don't know how these players are going to gel together. And Bayern Munich just lost, their star man, who is Lewandowski. Because when you watch a lot of games from Bayern across the past year, you could actually see that Lewandowski helped them, like dragged the team across the line. So now he left. So how do they, and they didn't get any replacement. So Sadio Mane isn't a like for Lewandowski. So like, how will the team evolve without Lewandowski? How will Barcelona's team gel around Lewandowski? So I think maybe those question marks can just, leave a door open, just a little bit of gap, for maybe Inter to sneak in there and snatch a second, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I'm totally with Doris on this as well. Bayern Barca is something I see. But then actually there's this thing also that we always have in the group stage every year, right? So this year is Group D for me. We have Frankfurt, Spurs, Sporting, and Marseille. I swear this can be a Europa League. I mean, not even Europa League. This can be a Conference League group, guys. I mean, what the hell is this?
Come on, even Spurs.
Man, even Spurs, man. Even Spurs. I mean, it's fucking Spurs, man. What do you expect, man? Even though
Predictions.
They have a really good striker, like almost as good as Karim Benzema, you know.
I mean, I respect Conte a lot. I actually rate him as one of the best coaches out there, and I know, like, he can, if you give the man the tool, he can work out shit, man. Like, the man is a magician as well. But I mean, the group is just on paper, look at the name: Frankfurt, Tottenham, Sporting, and Marseille.
Do you think Spurs finish in the top two?
Top two, obviously.
I'm just kidding.
I think Spurs wins the group, actually, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, the thing now becomes is because of how intense Antonio Conte plays his players. He has a bad record in the Champions League as well. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, do you guys think, like, would they? I think they can get past this. But I mean, what would you say, like, are Tottenham's, like, realistic hopes in the Champions League this year? Round of 16, quarters, semis.
Yeah, round of 16.
Nothing further.
We can only judge from the past, right? Yeah, so he definitely does not have a good record. I don't see them go past the round of 16.
Yeah, I think so too. They will top the group for sure, but I don't think they go further than that. But it all depends on the draw after the round of 16.
That's also true, actually.
The group stages.
Exactly. So the luck you're talking about, Doris, comes in play. If you get lucky and gets a weaker team, then you can advance much more easier, I guess. But actually, for me, one thing I always feel about Spurs and Conte is that this time around, Conte actually has two genuine world-class forwards in Son and Harry Kane. I think this might be his X factors, because I can't recall in his team, except for when he had Lukaku at Inter, I can't remember, like, any two players who you could say could literally walk into every single team in the world.
Dude, Lautaro Martinez.
I don't think Martinez walked into any team in the world at that time. Even Lukaku doesn't walk into any single team in the world. But I mean, right now, Harry Kane will walk into almost every team except for Benzema's team and maybe Lewandowski's team. And also, Son will walk into every team in the world, every single one of them. So that's the thing. Like, I mean, these are two players that are world-class players. I'm like, not just throwing the words around for world-class. Like, these are genuine world-class players, I think because of this, I'm actually giving them, a quarters kind of berth. I think they will go to the quarterfinals, and eventually Conte will Conte himself out, and he will start to complain about the lack of players and lack of this and lack of that, and eventually forget about what's going to happen with them. Anyways, before we move on, let's just go to the chat. We have Elamas, as usual, he's saying, Hola Madridistas. Hola Elamas, how are you doing today? Thanks for joining again. And Sunaid actually was saying that Haaland will definitely celebrate against Dortmund. He's a mercenary. And then he's saying that, to your comment, Jacob, like you said, round of 16 for Spurs, he's saying, come on, Jacob, round of 16. So I think he's expecting you to say that Spurs is going to finish fourth and we're not even going to go to Europa League and shit like that, Sunaid and his ass.
Like I said, it was a long time ago. So.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, let's just see. Okay, so guys, which teams are you going to say are the teams to watch out for here? So let me just bring out some names and you can just give your comments. For example, let's talk about Liverpool, Doris. What do you think? Like, do you think Liverpool's are challengers for this year's Champions League, or it's all done for them?
Well, I think the Premier League hopes are almost over, because at least in their heads, and I think the counts for something. Yeah. I think they will go for trophies this year. Maybe not the Premier League, but definitely the Champions League. And Liverpool is always a threat. You never know. I'm just wondering if Nunez will be integrated into the team well. I'm really, I really want to know how it will all play out, especially in the Champions League, if he will be the big star player.
I see. To be honest, about the Nunez thing, I actually am not very optimistic about Darwin Nunez, because one thing I know is that, like, based on my years of watching Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, like, they've always, like, played to a certain style, and they've always, like, bought a certain kind of players. And I haven't seen a lot of Nunez, but first thing first, I would say is a price tag of having 100 million euros on your head. It's something very huge. And based on the couple of games we've seen with Liverpool, like, they're trying to, cross the ball to Nunez as soon as possible, which is totally away from what Liverpool actually used to do. Liverpool were always, like, trying to break fast through their wingers and, They have actually this signature goal you can see that they usually score, but I don't know. I mean, I might just be on the fences here, but I'm not very actually optimistic about Darwin Nunez. Anyways, that's a story for another day. So I'm gonna just say Paris Saint-Germain and leave it to you, Jacob. What do you think?
Yeah, obviously, they're going to be title contenders. But Messi is running on in the age, and then early signs don't point to a positive season for them. Like there's a lot of dressing room clashes and stuff. But they could fix that. It's up to the manager, and it's up to like the sporting director Mbappe. But yeah, it's going to be fun seeing them at least. They always play a good brand of football, especially in the group stages. Yeah, so definitely a team to watch out for.
Yeah, I think PSG also it's really a curious case, to be honest. Like, you just see the name on the sheets and you just imagine if these players could actually work together, and figure out something out, because it's just so shameful to see the penalty saga with Neymar and Kylian Mbappe the other day. Like I felt like these are two bona fide superstars. Like what's going on? Like I mean, I don't know, but I just understood that this is something you do even like when you're playing just tournaments in local tournaments in your area, and like you already say, okay, like this guy is a penalty taker and he takes the penalties, so like what's happening between Neymar and Kylian, someone taking the first one, taking the second one, like it just looked so weird. And with the news coming out that Mbappe has his own group, Neymar has his own group, and all those guys are doing what they're doing or what they aren't doing. So as you said, man, like it's just about if they can find the right understanding between themselves and chemistry. Yeah, well, let's see how it goes, man. I think Galti has a lot of job to do, to be honest. I don't know what's gonna go.
Wait, I do have a question for you guys though. You think Ramos is gonna play an important part of the season?
Doris, you wanna answer that?
I think so. Yes, especially in the last few weeks with all the drama and all that. It was reported that he was the one to tame the flames in the dressing room, and I think he wants to prove to himself, because he is such a great player, and I think great minds like him would want to keep going, show everyone why he was the best captain and why he still has the captain spirit in him. Captains should never break down and succumb to their injuries, I guess.
Yeah, actually, about Ramos, I would actually say this. I think, Ramos actually is someone who is in a unique position because of why he survived, the Barcelona and Real Madrid rivalry during the Mourinho days, right? And still went to Spain and won the World Cup with these guys. He's been in the, the dressing room with the likes of, Mr. Roy, David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, the Carloses, the Luka Modric and what is not. So because he's been there, he's seen that, he's done it. So I think he's in a kind of a unique spot to be able to, help, I don't know, ease the tension, because it takes a lot of, balls to actually, call Neymar and Kylian Mbappe out on their bullshit to bring them together and like, okay, guys, like I'm not talking to you one after the other. No, we're gonna talk together face to face, eye to eye, man to man, So that's
Mano, yeah.
Exactly, man. So that's the thing. But actually, I'm just gonna reverse Uno you, Jacob, there. So I'm gonna say, like, do you think Ramos goes to the World Cup though?
World Cup? No, I don't see it happen, to be honest. But let's see. I'm all for, I still support our captain. So I hope he goes to the World Cup. But realistically, I don't see it happening.
I see. I also share that feeling. Actually, I feel like Spain has moved on, to be honest. So I don't see that. But the point is, Spain has moved on, but they still play fucking Eric Garcia, man. That's the thing. I feel like, man, we could do a job, man, over that guy. I don't know.
It's a crime, Nacho, but at least Nacho gets rested, like you guys said.
Man, it is what it is. I don't have anything to say. Okay, so let me just pick another name there. Man City. Doris, what do you think? Man City.
I think they will be contenders definitely for the Champions League, 1000%. And I think, contrary to popular belief, I think Haaland will kill it. this season. Maybe not right now, but I think give him some time, he will he will be a monster. And I think this Champions League, if not this one, the next one is his, definitely, because it's City. They've been uh, trying to win this cup for so long, and I think Haaland will will be the one to bring it to them.
Right, yeah, I get that. Actually, I also share that feeling because I actually personally have Man City penciled as my favorite to win the tournament this year. Because I just think like this is their time, and like they've had so many near misses, and as Doris rightly pointed out, I think the addition of Erling Haaland, that's just the final piece of the puzzle in my opinion. But then football doesn't work that way. It's like there are a lot of things that could happen from now until then. He could get injured, something could happen, what could go on, so yeah, football is so unpredictable, so that's why we love the game. So instead of just name picking, let me just because those were the obvious names that popped out to me, so I'll just ask you, Jacob, is there any other team you think people should not sleep on?
Shouldn't sleep on. Let's just take a inventory of the names. So Juventus, I don't really think so. They're still on a building phase.
Yeah.
Maybe a round of 16 quarterfinals we'll see them, but bye after that. With Atletico, you never know. They might completely screw up La Liga, but they do get their form on in the Champions League, and depends on the draw again. Like if they get a couple of good draws, I totally see them going to the semifinals again. Yeah. I'm not gonna say Barcelona one of the favorites, but yeah. To be honest, they're not gonna be one of the favorites realistically as well, because even though they have Lewandowski,
yeah,
it's like a completely new team. They need time to gel with each other. So let's see.
Yeah, that's a very valid point, to be honest. I agree with that as well. I think Barcelona is just an unknown entity right now, so it's going to be too early to make a claim on anything there.
The other big name on there is Chelsea. What do you think?
Milan over them. This year, Milan over them. And I don't think Milan will be contenders, but they could be really annoying and knock someone out like in the round of 16 and not go, further than that, but just knock someone out that could be a potential contender, and then lose it like in the quarterfinals or something like that. I think that's their destiny this year.
Actually,
yeah.
I can agree. I can get what Doris is saying, but I just feel like, the know-how does not exist with this Milan guys. And I get I do place them in the round of 16, but I do seem like if they go to the round of 16, and just because if they finish second, the chances of getting paired with the likes of Real, and Paris and so on and so forth, I feel like they lack the know-how to actually, deal with this kind of pressure. So I feel like, again, they will be focused on, trying to retain the Scudetto in Italy, because, Inter is there. And right now we've seen Juve, rebuilding, and they're also going to be a force again, hopefully. So I think maybe Milan might not do that much. But on Chelsea's case, I actually think about this, though. I think the point is Chelsea cannot score goals, right? So I think they're not being able to score goals, but then, people will point out to the season that they eliminated us and won the Champions League, so they're going to point out to the fact that they won the Champions League by scoring 1-2 goals a game, and that's how they won the league, they won the title all over. So I feel like they've lost a bit of that solidity, and, Kante is not as fit as he once was. So I think that because of that actually takes away from Chelsea, in my opinion. Although I think Thomas Tuchel is a very, very fine tactician, to be honest. I think he's a bad manager, but I think he's a very fine tactician, to be honest. So, but I don't know if his tactics will be enough to win it all. To be honest, I have no idea.
Fair enough, but that's one of the matchups that I'm looking forward to. So let's say Milan finish second and Vini finished first. That could be interesting. There's Theo, there's Ibrahim Diaz. It's going to be interesting facing them again.
Definitely, man. Definitely, it's going to be, even away from that, it's going to be like a huge clash for European football. These are powerhouses. The teams with the two most European trophies. It's going to be a huge game, and going to the San Siro and the Bernabeu. Wow.
There's going to be a lot of emotions for Ancelotti as well.
Definitely, man. That's going to be so crazy, man. To be honest, that's well, man. That's a matchup to look forward to be honest, though. That's a matchup to look forward to. I hope Sunil is listening somewhere. Milan versus Real Madrid, then we'll see your true face, my man. Yeah, okay, then I guess that will be all for the group stage. So let me just pose this question to you guys. Let's start with Doris. Like, what's the realistic expectation for Real Madrid this season in the UCL?
I think the good old semis will do, and I don't think we will win it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a chance, especially with some black magic in the stands and the bald man up there. But apart from that, I think the semis will be the quarterfinals or the semis. It all depends on the draw. But I don't think we will like finish in the round of 16 or something. But I don't think we win it.
Okay, Jacob, Mr. Real Madrid now. So Doris is saying like Real Madrid is not good enough to win the Champions League. What do you take on? What's your take?
I actually felt like Doris was actually pretty positive. I didn't even watch. I feel like I have a lower expectation than that. I'm really scared that we might go out in the round of 16 if we face Liverpool again, or even Man City. By some chance they finish second, or we finish second somehow.
Yeah, it all depends on the draw.
Yeah, I feel like we've been riding our luck for a long time now. And I'm gonna say, yeah.
That's why I'm hoping that Inter wins against Barcelona, so that we play Inter again. I love my Inter.
I mean, actually, for me, to be honest, like I have no problem playing the likes of Juventus, Leipzig, Milan, Sevilla, Dortmund, Porto, Leverkusen, So I think there are teams there, as long as, the big names don't sleep up, and also we don't sleep up. I think the round of 16 should look smooth, because the point is, when you check the first group, for example, you have Ajax and Napoli and maybe Rangers, The second group, you're expecting Atletico to top, but Atletico in the shithousery, so they might be second, but it's not a problem. Even if they're second, we can't match up with them. You go to Group D, and it's already a Conference League group, so anyone just come, man. It doesn't really matter what your name is. And you go to the Group G's and H, so that's where the problem now comes. Like for Group H, is now like if Paris becomes second in that group, then it's a whole different ballgame, to be honest. And I think it really, really I think also Madrid players are going to be fired up because of the whole Mbappe saga. But I think, Paris also will be especially fired up because of, the way that we eliminated them. And it was so humiliating, to be honest. And it was like, the kickstart for everything that happened last season, actually. So I think, yeah, it's going to be interesting, to be honest. But then I will say I'm going to be together with Doris on this. I think a semi-final berth will do. But also like a round of quarterfinals wouldn't be a bad thing, to be honest,
Yeah, I agree. But I think if Paris goes for second, we go for second. If they go for first, we go for first. This year.
It's going to be a completely different atmosphere for Mbappe when he returns.
Yeah,
definitely, man. The man got a hero's welcome last year, man, and he decided, to still do what he did. But then, man, it's a business decision after all. So we can blame a man for taking a higher paycheck or higher control or whatever he's working on. So that's what we all strive for eventually, like better pay, better working conditions, and what is not. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, moving away from the Champions League and what is not, we have a game this weekend, and we have a game against Barcelona's Espnayol this weekend. So the point now is this, so I don't know if you guys could recall, we actually lost to Espnayol last year 2-1 at Espnayol Stadium. So to be honest, we might, but actually the thing now is that Espanyol is not in the best of forms going into this game, because they had to crawl back, a 2-2 draw in the first game of the season against Celta de Vigo. They actually scored in the 96th minute. And then last week they lost against Rayo, actually. They lost to Rayo at home. And then this week they're hosting us. So it's our third game away on the Spain. So I don't know what's you guys' take on this. So as you can see, we have 2 victories, and Espanyol has 1 victory and 1 loss. So I don't know what you guys thinking. Is this the game we finally lose our first game of the season, or how do you take it? Jacob, can you just give your take?
Yeah, traditionally they have always been a banana peel fixture for us. Yeah. Even if we win, we do only win a 1-0, 2-0, but then they bend over for Barcelona, which always annoys me. But regarding Espanyol's current, so they finished 14th last season.
Yeah.
This season, I'm expecting them to finish higher because of their manager. So they got a new manager, and he has worked with Granada before. He led the relegation playoffs, and then he was really good there. And then apparently he went to see the EPL, and then he learned under Pep and stuff. So I'm pretty sure he's going to bring a lot of good things to this team. And yeah, and I feel like they have some good players. Hope they don't lose out on Raul Thomas. So that's going to be an important thing for their season. But overall, I feel like we have enough quality to get through them.
So RDT has always been a player actually that we've discussed a lot on this pod, because we always talked about the replacement for Karim Benzema eventually, and RDT is one name that actually the boys have always brought up over time. Actually, I think Sunaid and Mo actually are very high on RDT. To be honest, they've always hyped him up as someone to come and sit as a replacement for Benzema. So I would just ask you again, Jacob, because I think we haven't had this discussion with you before. Like, how do you think, how high do you rate RDT, and do you think RDT is the sort of player that would come, and be a backup to Karim Benzema?
Like, I wouldn't do that to RDT. Like, he's way too talented just to sit on the bench. That's what I feel. But he's really going to be good for this, for a mid-table La Liga side where he can start every game. He can, turn in those chances, even though there are not a lot of chances. He can turn in the chances that he does get. So he's going to be a really good player for them and for other mid-table sides.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. I also share that sentiment, to be honest. I feel like RDT is not the kind of player that should come and sit and wait for a couple of minutes here and there. To be honest, I agree with you. Like, he can do the job for a mid-table La Liga side, even just even a team above mid-table, team that's just punching for Europe and something like that. I think he can get the job done, honestly. But then, yeah, Doris, we have this karma whereby every Castilla graduate eventually comes back to score or tries to score or gives the performance of their life against Real Madrid. And then we have this stat phase that says that we've considered in our last 7 away games. So do you think Courtois is also, breached again this time around by RDT or not?
I don't know. Like, some stats sometimes make sense, but I don't think that makes sense. In question to Espanyol, this season I think they only had, apart from 2 goals, they only had 3 shots on goal in 2 games. And on Saturday, I don't know. I don't think they will do much. I don't think they're in that great of form, even though, as you said, they give the performance of their lives. But the second game last season, it finished like 4-0 or 4-1, if I remember correctly.
4-0 game, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it will be maybe 4-0, because the players are starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah.
But it's always a possibility.
I see.
Yeah, actually though, like they were really unlucky in their last game. So if you just notice the red, so apparently in the last game versus Rayo, there were 2 red cards, 1 each for each team. The Rayo red card it was kind of warranted. Yeah, the referee had to give it. But then, like the red card that these guys got, Espanyol got, that was really unfair, I felt. Just a case of Spanish referees being Spanish referees.
Yeah.
And they did get 3 shots onto the post and to the crossbar. So they were kind of really unlucky in that game, I feel. So they do have the tools to maybe threaten us if you're not careful in the middle of the park. They have good players in the form of Esposito and Sergi Darder. So Sergi Darder, he plays a little bit on the left wing, but he likes to cut inside and play balls to Joselu and Esposito, who act as a target man. And Esposito, he can shoot with both feet. So that's going to be a matchup to watch out for. So hopefully, Tchouaméni, he gets his marking and stuff right. If he starts, if Cruz starts, maybe we could be in for a long night, but I'm not sure.
I see. So actually, I was just getting some information right now that RDT actually is asking to leave Espanyol, and actually he's been listed right now as someone with a knock. he's been listed as having a knock, so most likely he might not, play or something like this. So I would just like to, shift the attention to also another target man, Oselu, actually, as you rightly pointed out, Jacob, as well. So also he's a former, Madrista, like he graduated from the Castilla as well. So that's also another, that's also another player we have to, focus on actually. So maybe that's someone you have to pay attention to, and he's a bona fide target man with Castilla blood in him. So as I just pointed out earlier, like these guys always tend to have the games of their life against us one way or another for whatever reason that is. So I think that might be someone to focus on as well. And then also they have a new signing, Danny Gomez actually. So that's also a player that we can also check out as well. But actually you pointed out earlier, Jacob, I think about their coach Diego Martinez, and I think it's the interesting thing you pointed out about was the fact that he tutored under Pep and all that. So I think that makes them a formidable team, to be honest. And I always worry about teams who are like searching for the first for the first victory of the season, and when you go down there and how our defenses, we always tend to give everyone gift of a goal. And now if they get a goal like across and towards the end of the first half or first hour of the game, it's going to be a very, very long evening, man, in Barcelona.
Yeah, let's take predictions. Who do you think, if in case we make a defensive error, who is it going to be?
I'm going to give it to Tchouaméni. It's going to be his first error. I'm going to
really no Militao. Okay.
I'm going to give it to Tchouaméni because that's the thing. Like it's Casemiro does it, Militao does it, even Alaba does it, So it's going to be like a proper initiation, for Tchouaméni into the
yeah, the shirt is really heavy.
into the thing. But actually, to be honest, I don't know what your take is on last time. With Doris, we discussed about the the impact of Tchouaméni with regards to the exit of Casemiro. I don't know what your take will be on. I know we've seen him just in 2 official games so far in La Liga. So what would be your take on him? Like, do you think it's someone who can, do you think it's someone who is ready for this job though?
I'm kind of split on it, to be honest. I think we're going to get good results with him initially in the season when every player is fresh. But, Casemiro covered a lot of holes in this team. He helped the defense. He helped the midfield. He also made quite a few runs from the midfield. He acted as a target man when we really needed him. I feel like Tchouaméni has a lot of big shoes to fill. And as the season wears on and then we have more tired legs, Tchouaméni's defensive capabilities might not be enough to, get us through all of the matches, the tough matchups. But I feel like our passing and, play in the final third, those things are going to improve. Like those are going to be way better because he's a better ball carrier and better passer of the ball. But I am kind of concerned about if he can actually fill in Casemiro's shoes with defensive place.
I see. To be honest, like I'm also like on the fence, to be honest, with Tchouaméni, because I feel like although he might be a good player, like what happens is when you get thrown into the into a baptism of fire, having to replace one of the greatest midfielders ever to play for Real Madrid, man. Like it's not an easy task, and you're coming back off the season where although Casemiro has been deteriorating, last season was a phenomenal season, even by his previous standards as well. So you're coming in from there, and people are quick to point out, no, he's a France international, he's this and he's that. That doesn't work here anymore, man, at all. We've seen, I think Hazard might be a curious case to point out to, but Hazard was the best player in the Premier League before he came to Madrid, right? We can, we can point out names and those who've walked out, those who haven't walked out as well. So I feel like, just because he's coming with and my also fear is this, like, to be honest, like Tchouaméni doesn't have that experience of competing at the highest level, because while he's been at Monaco for all 3 seasons, I think barring one season, they weren't even close to competing for the title. So I feel like because of that, I don't know how he will react under pressure or how he wouldn't react under pressure as well. But then, yeah, only time can tell these things, right?
Yeah, but good news is he seems to have a lot of composure on the ball. Yeah, see, I don't think he's going to panic a lot, but let's see.
Yeah,
he's still young.
Yeah, actually. So actually, one key information about the coach, also Diego Martinez, was that he wanted to get Jesus Vallejo for Espnayol actually, but Vallejo actually wasn't too interested in the move. So like he trained. I don't know if you guys could recall when Vallejo came back from Wolves, then he moved to Granada actually. So he was actually, as Jacob pointed out earlier, like Diego Martinez was a coach of Granada, was also like Jesus Vallejo played under him actually. So yeah, that's also another link, between the.
That's actually surprising to me because Vallejo could never like break into the starting 11 with Granada. Then why does he want him now?
I mean, that's the thing, right? So you can because I think Vallejo actually was in a bad state and was in a bad space at that time, because he got injured. He went to Wolves, he came back, he went to the Granada team, and he couldn't even get in the team. So I think he was in a bad state. So I feel like the stability because I also don't trade Vallejo, but the point is that sometimes you just need the bodies. But like towards the end of last season, actually Vallejo showed that he can be more than the body. So like if he gets the time to settle down, to start from zero, just a reset, something like this, it was good for him. So actually that's why I feel like for him he shouldn't go out yet. Like just wait the next year, then you can go out, because at least you still have that comfort zone, that stability that Real Madrid gives you for now. At least you train every day, you know these people, so you get your chances in the leagues, in the league cups, and in the lower league games as well. So yeah. Okay, so before we move on, so we have someone in the chat here. You say Adriana, I think, she's saying, hey, I'm a follower from Barcelona. First of all, great analysis of our rivals this weekend, guys. Which four do you think Carlos should start versus Espanyol? Okay, so let's just throw it up to you. First, I think everyone would assume that Vinicius and Benzema starts. So we have just one forward spot left. So Doris, what do you do with that?
Last game for Valverde was not really the best one. Maybe not the entire game, but the big chunk of the first half and some mistakes in the second half. So this time it's either gonna be a Valverde redemption, or Rodrigo finally gets to start a game, and I think he deserves it. And Espanyol should be the team that he gets the starting spot against, because from what I've seen in the preseason, Ancelotti put him in the left wing spot instead of the right wing spot to sub in instead of Vinicius. I don't remember which game that was, but I think actually I hope that that's not the trajectory his career at Real Madrid goes, because I would rather have him play at the right wing and get minutes than sub in for Vinicius only a couple minutes. So I hope for Rodrigo on Saturday.
I would say this though, like what's it called? I was gonna talk about the fact that I think Rodrigo is back fit, so because he was not available across the past couple of games. But speaking of Rodrigo, and the other player who's gonna compete with Rodrigo is Marco Asensio. So I'm gonna just read two rumors we have out there, which is that Mariano is asking to be paid out, or rather to get his contract cancelled so he can live on a free. And this morning also I was reading, which also I discussed with some of the guys in the group as well, like we're getting rumors that Asensio is gonna be United are gonna table a bid of 30 million euros for Marco Asensio. So I don't know, what are your guys' take on that? So I mean, let's start from Mariano first, right? So Jacob, what's your take on Mariano?
Mariano, like I'll believe it when I see it. When I see the communicat official, like we've all been hoping for this move. I think even I don't know if he wants to have like a career or a good play out as a striker, score some goals, he needs to have a move. And I don't believe it for now. For Asensio, like I believe it a little bit more because we haven't started him at all, and then he used to start a bit more last season, as even coming on as subs. But this season that hasn't happened even in preseason that much. So it could be on the cards, but again, you never know with these rumors. So no comment.
Valid. What about you, Doris? Like Asensio staying or going?
I don't think it's a good idea to let him go at this point, even though it might be selfish from us to keep him here, knowing that he won't get minutes. But if United really want him, I wouldn't be opposed to him leaving. For 30 million, I think that's a pretty good deal. And if we could throw Mariano in there as well for free, I think that would be an even better deal. But we need to remember that Asensio is Spanish, and he takes up a Spanish spot in the team, and that's something that we need, because all of our other most of our other players are not from the EU or Spain. For example, like Vinicius and Rodrigo.
I see.
Especially in our starting lineup, we don't even have Nacho or Vasquez or anyone. It's none of them are Spanish, and I think Asensio, for that reason, should stay at the club.
Actually, I'm actually kind of torn on this. The reason is that there's like actually I'm a fan of letting Asensio go. But the point is that if you're letting both Asensio and Mariano leave, then the point is you're getting light in attack as well, because the point is you have Hazard, which they actually are claiming is a new false nine. I don't know. And then if Mariano leaves, you have just Hazard for Benzema, and then if if Asensio leaves, then you have just Fede Valverde, who's going to keep playing as a hybrid midfield winger, and Rodrigo as an outside winger. But then who replaces Vinicius on the team as well? So that's the thing. Like, unless these guys are going to leave and we're going to get a new person in, so I don't think that's something that's going to happen. So that's something that should not happen or not going to happen. Except like as they said right now, like if RDT is available, then maybe we can go for RDT. Like, because if these players leave, then it means that there is a spot there. Obviously, he's not going to start it week in week out, but it means that there's a chance to have a game here and there as the season moves on, and it's a very, very long season this year, given the World Cup in November as well. So I think, personally, I feel like if these guys leave, we need to buy someone. Otherwise, like both of these guys has to stay. And if I have to choose, to be honest, I'd choose the Mariano to stay, because like with Mariano, like for me personally, I have no expectations. You understand? So you don't get disappointed. But with Asensio, today it's like the man is a world beater, and tomorrow you just come back and this is what you get totally pulled down back to the earth. So I don't know. So there is that as well.
So Doris, you mentioned you would like ask United to take Mariano as well if they take Asensio. But think of this fun scenario: would you swap Mariano for Harry Maguire?
God, no. Fuck no. Excuse my language, but no. That's a hard no. I mean, we have enough defenders, but we don't need the opposition forwards in our team. And I'm not a fan of English players in Madrid, and Harry Maguire is definitely not what I want in my team.
Yeah, I can get
As Farouk said, you wouldn't have expectations from Mariano, and from Maguire you would just expect, like, please don't play against us. Just sit down. Be the ball. Just be the goalpost or something.
Yeah, man, you literally just be playing one man down with Harry Maguire. Yeah, okay, so we have a new chat here, so again from Adiara, and it says, I think it would be a huge mistake to sell Asensio if we weren't going to sign a forward in the last days. We can just have 5 forwards. Yeah, I think that's, we also pinpointed this, like selling Asensio without getting a backup, it's gonna be, I mean, selling both Asensio and Mariano together without having a backup, it's gonna be, like shooting yourself in the foot into, honesty, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but then, okay, we've been over an hour into the pod, so I think we can just call it a day for today. But before we do that, let's just take our predictions. Yeah, so Jacob, since you're the new member of the group, so let's just give you the honors of giving the first predictions.
For the Espnayol game, right? I'm gonna say 2-1 to Madrid, but we're gonna come back from behind.
Oh wow! Okay,
yeah,
well,
someone's gonna concede a silly goal.
I see.
3-1 for Madrid.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna go with it's a 3-1. I mean, it's gonna be a Karim Benzema celebration, celebrating the European trophy with the first goal, and then maybe they equalize, or we go 2-0 and they come 2-1. But I think we're gonna be on the front foot for this game. But yeah, I agree with you about the conceding thing. So we're gonna concede for sure. Yeah.
Is Cruz playing? I
I
think he is playing.
Cruz was listed as ill, but I'm not sure if he's gonna play or not. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw a bit of news saying that we have good indications that Cruz is gonna play.
Okay.
Even Rodrigo's out for muscle fatigue, but I'm not sure if he'll be back.
No, actually, I thought Rodrigo was back already, to be honest, but I have the information wrong or not. I'm not sure. So yeah, in the comment here, we have Adriana saying the score is going to be 3-0 to Real Madrid and Hazard scores. I mean,
Hazard.
People are still high on Eden Hazard, right? I mean, I hope it comes. I hope it happens. But to be honest, I'm not very sure.
I hope so too. The last game, something died in me when he missed. No. I was hoping he scored for himself, not for the team, but for himself. And even Karim didn't finish it, and I think that helped him a bit. But come on, it was really disappointing from him, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the man can't catch a break like he really needs.
Yeah.
But I'm not too worried because he doesn't take these things too seriously, so he will bounce back. Yeah.
But man, it's been 3 years now. When is he gonna bounce back? That's it.
He will bounce back.
Well, Adriana thinks so.
You're not believing, Farouk. You're not believing.
Okay, let's see. Then Doris, Jacob, and Adriana do both believe that he will bounce back. So I hope he bounces back, because if he bounces back, that's the thing, right? We have one hell of a player on our team that if he bounces back. So it's very good for us, but I'm not really that optimistic. So the thing is this, right? I was a very, very huge Hazard fan, because I actually argued with my brother a lot that Hazard was better than Neymar when Neymar was at Barcelona. Because that was how much I believed Hazard was a good player. That's how much I liked him, And he came, and now he's a source of fun, between me and my brother. And he's always like, "Yeah, you're the one who said Hazard was better than Neymar." He took away all of my credibility. So yeah, it's been a hurtful one actually. But yeah, hopefully Hazard can come back one way or another. But I'm not really optimistic about that. Okay, guys, if you guys have anything to add on, or otherwise we can call it a day. It's been a very, very good one with you guys. It was a pleasure having you, Jacob. Hopefully we can see you the next time as well. It's as with Boris as well. It's fun as usual. So if you guys don't have anything to say, we can just end it and go as Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.